Although I didn't expect to be making this video right now or really ever, I'd be lying if I said I didn't expect it coming. And well, Turbo Civics suck. I'm not a huge fan of them. Mine runs well, you can row through all the gears, makes 300 wheel, has all the cool noises, it's fast, but there's just so many more gremlins and points of failure that you add when adding a turbo kit, like the oil feed, the oil drain, the more exhaust work, the more exhaust gaskets, the higher cylinder pressures, the higher intake air temps. Everything is just harder on the engine, the car. And well, to be honest with you, ever since I turboed this car, I kind of fell out of love with it. There is no real issues with this turbo kit. And I'll admit, when I open the engine bay and I see this big fat turbo here, it does fire me up. But the car had so much spirit and was so much funner to drive before, and it comes back to the grand old saying that it's funner to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. When this thing was NA, it just had so much spirit and it promoted you to rev it to the moon. It had no torque and always wanted to be up in the RPM range, and I could go foot through the floorboard all day long, no matter the temperatures outside, carving up the canyons, ripping the togue, just everything. And with it boosted, it's not that I can't do that, but I have to be a little more leisured with it. I can't go pedal to the metal 24/7 because it just gets hot. I mean, my downpipe is essentially touching the whole side of my radiator. And if I wanted to make this better, it would be almost $1,000 between a bigger, better spall fan, the relay wiring for it, a new blow-off valve because that one's just a Chinese HKS knockoff. That's a couple $100 plus the fabrication to weld it onto that pipe if that's even possible. Drill a few holes in my thermostat, get a heat shield here, try and find a turbo blanket that fits, just like a bunch of stuff. And it's really just to keep it more cool. But at the end of the day, to me, it's not worth to sink another grand into this turbo build because I haven't enjoyed my car as much as I did when it was NA since it's been turbo, if that makes sense. Have I gone on a lot of good drives and put a lot of smiles on a lot of people's faces? Sure. Do I regret doing this? No. But this is my second boosted Honda. I had a DA Integra with a fully forged and built and sleeved GSR engine with a whole set HX35 that literally made 30 pounds of boost. The thing made over 500 wheel horsepower and was a rocket ship. It made this thing seem slow, and this car is fast for what it is. But that soul, that spirit of the no torque 1.6 liter B16 is gone and kind of decimated with this turbo. And as much as I do like turbo cars, I never had as much fun with this platform, with this powertrain, as I did when it was NA. Point blank, simple, and period. A lot of people will tell you, boost is the best. How could you go back to NA? A lot of other people will tell you, oh, if you don't like boost, it's because you don't know how to build it. You did it wrong. Like, guys, like, I did it right. This car runs hard. I could fire this up right now and go make 300 wheel, burn tires, and smash gears. It's fun, but I never had as much fun with this car as I did when it was NA. Sure, it was a lot slower, but not everything's about speed. At the end of the day, this isn't a Corvette fucking Z06. This isn't a Dodge Viper. This isn't a Hellcat. It's not a straight line drag car. It is a canyon carver, a toge ripper. And it kind of lost its touch, its personality, if you will, when it went boosted. So I'm here today to take off the damn turbo kit and restore my faith in this car. I've kind of fallen out of love for it ever since I boosted it. I can't lie. I have to face the music, I have to face the facts, I have to face the people, and I have to face the car and say that I do indeed regret going turbo. It was fun while it lasted. It cost me a shit ton of money. And if I could go back, I probably wouldn't have done it. And I was kind of feeling these thoughts while I was building it and ordering the parts for it, because I've already done the boosted Honda thing. It's fun, it's raw, it's rowdy, but if I could go back, I probably wouldn't have boosted it. Not telling you guys to not boost your Hondas if that's what you're into. Absolutely go for it. It is boatloads of fun. Myself, I like the spirit of this car when it was NA and would rev to the moon and just sing. So I'm gonna restore its whole identity, if you will. Enough talking. Let's take this turbo off my hatch. All right, so far we've got the downpipe, the wastegate off, intercooler piping is out, blow-off valve is out. Just need to take this intercooler off, but it's going to be much easier once the turbo and the manifold are removed, which is next. The full catback is still on it. I have to take that off. But right now I'm doing the oil feed line and the oil drain line. So fingers crossed, the car is jacked up and well, I hope it doesn't lose a bunch of oil. I'd like to keep as much oil in there as I can. Once everything's said and done, I'll do an oil change. But for right now, I'd like to keep as much oil in there as possible. Just so because I have like a little bit left in my Motul jug if I need to top it up from some loss. But I'd still like this oil in here is still good. So I'd like to be able to start it up NA, just make sure everything runs good enough that I can drive it to the exhaust shop to get the muffler welded on. But for right now, we need to proceed into the dirty stuff. New place, I'm trying to take best care of it as I can. I've got this plastic drop cloth draped out all over. Oil pan is under there, and we are going to disconnect the oil drain straight from the pan. I do have these dash 10 caps that we're gonna put on there with some thread sealant and hope those don't leak. But for right now, let's see how much oil we lose taking the oil drain off. Well, honestly, that was a pretty dumb thought because it looks like we are doing an oil change. We are losing a bunch of oil, and with the oil that's coming out, it looks like about half of what's in there. So we might as well pull the drain plug off the damn back. We have to take off the oil filter for the sandwich plate anyways. Kind of figured it would be the case, but obviously I was hoping it wouldn't be. We're losing a bunch of oil here. So right now what I'm gonna do, now that I've got the oil drain off, I'm going to take off the oil pan drain plug so we can drain out all the oil that's in there. Then I'm going to crawl under there, which you guys can't really see, and take off the sandwich plate. When all that's done, we'll pick it back up and I'll show you what I've done. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the car is no longer boosted. I'm actually stoked. This is actually making me really excited. Now I am going to take off the intercooler and then I'm going to move to doing the sandwich plate, oil filter, draining all the rest of the oil. Then once all that's done, I'm gonna work on taking off the full 3-inch straight pipe exhaust. We're actually really close, and so far it's been 2 hours. We are doing good. And just like that, the turbo kit is off the dang car. The only thing turbo-wise that's left is the exhaust and the sandwich plate with the feed line. Manifold with the turbo, the wastegate and the wastegate dump is off. Downpipe is off. Intercooler piping and intercooler is off. We are flying off the rails. Sorry if the audio is a little spotty in this. This camera does have a good mic in it, but I'm not using my actual normal mic just because I'm all disgusting and anyways, now I'm actually going to drain the oil and take the sandwich plate off. You guys can't see that, so I'll pick it back up once that is all done, and then we can get to removing the exhaust. Once the exhaust is off, it's assembly time. Carbon intake back on, breather back on with the level 7 vented cap, NA header back on, and I actually need to order or go to Lordco or somewhere and get exhaust gaskets. I'm going to reuse the manifold gasket because it's essentially brand new. Doesn't have any weird tears or anything in it, so that's going to be good to go. But I do need gaskets for the 2.5-inch flanges all the way back, and I need a header donut flange as well. But let's go ahead, get this off. We're so close. Okay guys, well, let's take a look here. Let's do a little recap, shall we? We have the whole turbo kit right here. We've got the top mount manifold, the turbo itself, the wastegate with the wastegate dump and the feed source that goes on the turbo. We have intercooler pipe, Speed Factory Racing sandwich plate, blow-off valve, some V-bends and clamps, drain and feed, intercooler, downpipe, and the other intercooler pipes. Over here we have the infamous S-pipe, our straight tailpipe, and then the whole catless resonated mid-pipe. And if we look under the car, there is no more exhaust anywhere. Here is my NA race headers. I ordered a new gasket, but I'm gonna reuse that for now. Here is my muffler. I'm gonna need 1, 2, 3 hangers made and welded for that. And then right here is the 2.5-inch S-pipe with the sleeve. It's gonna go on to our mid-pipe that's resonated and high-flow catted. Now we're kind of at the reassembly phase of putting our carbon intake on, putting our level 7 breather back on, putting our NA manifold back on. Once again, gonna reuse this gasket and our titanium studs. It is going to retain a Honda 4-bar map and the injectors and the fuel pump if anyone did want to go back to boosted if they buy it, or if I want to go back to boosted. This is the vacuum line source for the boost gauge and the blow-off valve. I need to use that vacuum line and just hook it up right back there since that's where I've teed into. All of the tech shops are closed today because it's a holiday long weekend vibes. So I'm gonna have to call tomorrow, and my boy Eli that was on the channel, Golf R, Speed 3, Prelude, bunch of cool builds. He's doing the LS Swap Genesis right now. He's going to be in town on Friday. So I am hoping to get this car done by Friday. I know I can do what I need to do by like tonight or tomorrow because I need the flanges for the exhaust. Then I can call up Muhammad from Nabil Tuned, shout out to you, and get him to do a fresh NA tune on this. Then hopefully I can surprise my boy on Friday with a NA Civic instead of a boosted one. Anyways, I gotta clean up this turbo mess and then start putting some bits back on the car. It obviously needs an oil change too. So anyways, my camera's gonna die, so I'm gonna clean up while you guys charge. And while you guys were charging, I cleaned up a little bit, got the things we need to get done ready. I've got the NA manifold here with the hardware. I just don't have the springs. I don't even run them. Fuck it, dude. But if we go under here, I got the exhaust mid pipe in. So we got the PLM high flow cat. We have a MagnaFlow resonator, and then the S-pipe and the muffler is gonna go on at the exhaust shop. I also went ahead and put all the exhaust heat shielding back in. So I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it wouldn't fit with the 3-inch exhaust that's right there, looking nice and pretty still. It's expensive stuff, but the car makes me happier NA, and that's what I have to do. It's a hard pill to swallow. I'm glad I did it, but here we are. Anyways, let's go ahead and put this manifold on. I've got the mid pipe installed with the exhaust heat shielding. Hopefully keep the cabin temps a little lower too, because it got hot as hell inside this cab. Turbo with no heat shield, 3-inch exhaust. It was hot. Anyways, heat shield's on, mid pipe's on. Let's put on the header, intake, breather, and then it's time for some oil. But I have to go get that, and it is 3:54. I haven't eaten a single thing today, and we started at about 12:30, 1 o'clock. So I'm going for about 3-4 hours at this. Full turbo kit's off. It's ready for oil and all the NA goodies. So let's get this header on, and I gotta stop talking here. I ramble too much. Okay, mid pipe is bolted up to the header. Exhaust, for what I can do without a welder and fabrication skill, is done. Everything else is ready for the exhaust shop. Engine needs oil, already has a filter, drain plug, and fresh crush washer on it. Radiator is loosely mounted, but I have everything right there. Just needed to come off to make life easier. I just got my level 7 breather bolted back up right in there, nice and secure. 2 lines run around. I'm just gonna brake clean the crap out of that. Replace this cap for that cap. this is all done, and then we can go ahead and slap on the intake, and that's about all we can do. I'm gonna leave the oil for a different day, but we are so close. So let's run one last time lapse today. Let's get this level 7 cap all brake cleaned off, make sure she's good to go, not gonna get debris in the engine. And then from there, we can go ahead and slap on our beautiful carbon intake. Time check, 4:52. Well, 4 or 5 hours in. I can't remember when I started. It was either 12:30 or 1. I think it was about 12:30. 1:30, 2:33, 34:30. Yeah, we've been going for almost 5 hours here. And before I show you, let me fix one thing. All right, now let's get a grand reveal. I have taken this Civic from turbo to NA in one day, actually, less than 5 freaking hours. You guys ready to see this? Because I don't even know if I'm ready to show you. This is crazy. This is a whole and completely entirely different engine bay than what I woke up with, what I went to bed with, what I walked in the garage this morning with. This is actually nuts. What did I do?
Close till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays.
And well, boys, there you have it. We're going to resume this on day 2 when we fill up the oil, and hopefully we can get the exhaust done as well as a street tune, and this thing is going to be ready to rip. 5 hours clocked. We went from boost to no boost, but a lot more spirit, if you ask me. Alrighty guys, day 2 on the Civic. Good news, I found someone to weld up some hangers on the exhaust. And we're gonna be doing that tomorrow when we take a little bit of a road trip to do brakes on the truck as well. So that means today I need to put the S-pipe on the mid-pipe and then put the muffler on the S-pipe. So everything is mocked up. I can take measurements of everything, and then from there, they will be able to weld on the hangers. I am going to bring the turbo exhaust because it does have 3 hangers on it. So you might just have to lob those off and reuse or bend those. But I'm gonna bring those just to be safe in case he does need to cut it off. Because let's face it, after all this work, it is really not gonna go back to turbo. So someone else can put their own hangers on if they do end up buying it. But right now, as we can see by my nice little note here, we need to put oil in the car. And here I've got my favorite oil I always run in the Civic. Not sponsored, but it should be. I love you, Motul. Hit me up. 8100 XS, that's what we run in all the high revving VTEC engines, boosted or NA, and 5W30. So let's go ahead and give this thing a bit of a drink. And then realistically, we can fire it up. Yes, it's still on the boost tune. Yes, I still need to reach out to my tuner and get a tune. But it should run, because in theory it's not making boost to like 4,500, 5,000 RPM. So in that case, the idle and the driving under that RPM range is NA already, even though it doesn't have to spool up a turbo. The exhaust is a little more free flowing without it. It should run and idle okay. So we're gonna start it up, check the AFR, see how it is. Regardless, I will have to call up the tuner. Enough talking, let's get you guys on the tripod. Let's get this thing a drink of oil and fire it up because I do want to make sure that this Dash 10 AN cap that I installed is going to seal properly. I did thread sealant it and I tightened the shit out of it. So in theory, from my research that I've done online for those, it should be more than enough to keep the oil inside of the pan and not cause a leak. If it did, that really sucks because then it's sourcing and installing a new oil pan and pan gasket and RTV and letting it cure for 24 hours, and we just don't really have time for that. So fingers crossed, let's fill this thing up with oil and give her a start. On second thought, I'm gonna mock up the exhaust first and get all my measurements done for that, because if I fill it up with oil, start it, the exhaust is gonna be hot and then I'm gonna need to do exhaust stuff. So let's think for a second and let's go do the exhaust first. Oil and start last. Makes a lot more sense. All right, with the exhaust out of the car, let's crawl under there, get a jack to hold these up, and start mocking up locations and lengths of hangers. Finally get this crushed out. Check it out. So I've got the jack holding up the exhaust pipe. I think that looks pretty good as far as fitment goes. It's nice and centered too right there. And what I've done is I've connected it to the S pipe. The S pipe slip joint that goes on the mid pipe isn't tight, it's just loose, but it's put all the way back and those bolts are all the way tight. So this would be the correct position. Now I have to measure from hanger to hanger hook, the rubber hook, and get some angles and measurements figured out for that. And in theory, we should be all right. So I guess you guys don't want to watch me sit here and measure things and pretend to look like I know what the hell I'm doing. So I'll just pick this back up when I won't be boring you guys to death, okay? Okay, measurements have been taken, and it actually looks like if we just lop off all 3 hangers that were on the turbo exhaust, we can literally weld them straight onto the little hanger tabs left on the NA exhaust, and they should basically line right up. Even if it's not perfect, I'm not too pressed about it, to be honest. Going back to NA is either going to reignite my love for this car and want to keep it, or want to kind of move along. I don't know. I love this car a lot. It's very sentimental to me. It means everything to me. But if we do keep it, I would like to go a somewhat different exhaust route. I would like to get a vibrant, ultra quiet muffler and their ultra quiet resonator and kind of just ditch this exhaust. Kind of go with a new system, because this exhaust is the double OG exhaust. So this is going to get us by for now, and at least we know that it sounds good. So we're going to run that for now, see what happens in the future with the car, but I might just be getting a whole new catback exhaust. And I was also looking, private label MFG, the same boys that make my turbo manifold that's sitting right there, makes really cool NA manifolds. They have like NA ram horn, tri-Ys and stuff where it like has 4 big loops right here, and I think it looks rad. So if we do end up keeping it, I would love to get a nice big fatty pipe ram horn style NA manifold from PLM, and then a new catback. So this is kind of just a band-aid to get it back to NA and feel the spirit of the Civic alive and well again, which I'm so excited for. But now that the measurements are done, let's go ahead and fill this sucker up with oil and get a first start and see what the AFRs are gonna do. I'm really excited, man. I'm really excited. We have oil in the car, check the dipstick multiple times, we're at the perfect level. Obviously we got to start, let it cycle, then check it again. I did put the stock Honda cap on just because it's a bit of a chore to take on and off to level 7. But let's go ahead, connect the battery, and crank this thing up. Once again, it is on the boost tune. I do need to get it tuned. We're waiting to get the exhaust done before I can tune it. So, oil's in it, back to NA. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Let's start this thing. It starts, it runs. It's actually running mint, 14.78 AFR, but it goes leaner on cold starts to get it warmer quicker. But it's quiet. Having a high flow cat is so nice. It doesn't reek in here. And so far, fingers crossed, no leaks. But I'm gonna let this sucker idle for at least a bit to check for leaks and check the oil level. We should be dialed, baby. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. The car is running and driving. You heard it yourself. Also found another little goodie here. We got the Skunk 2 VTEC cover. Add a little foyer in the engine bay, you know what I'm saying? It's just sitting on there now. I don't know if you need to like get some double-sided tape and adhesive it, but it's smoking hot just from sitting on there while the engine's cooling off. I don't really know if it's supposed to be like little double-sided tape right on the end of it there and then stick it down and psh, I don't really know, but it's gonna sit there for now. I don't really think it can come off. I don't see how there could be enough pressure behind it to like lift it off, although it might rattle and spin. It looks good, looks good. Car runs and drives, well, I don't know about drives, runs, and as we can see, fingers crossed, knock on wood. Let's get under here and give that a lick. We are looking okay. Everything's good. The air fuels are good. Obviously, I'm gonna need to get it retuned. That goes without saying, I hope. However, we just got a few packages in the mail from our boys over at Amazon. So let's go ahead, tear into these, see what we got, because it's for this car. And I think I know what it is. Actually, I do know what it is. It's nothing crucial. It's nothing exciting. That part's coming in another week. But this is gonna be the donut, I believe. Yep. Donut gasket right here. Fresh donut, so I'll run it, see if it leaks. If not, I got a spare one right here. Could always return it, but it's good to have. And we've got this one here. Careful. Don't want to be revealing too much info here. This one is the 2.5 or 2.25 inch, 2.25 inch should say here, 2-piece, 2.25 inch car exhaust gasket. There we go. So this will go in between the S-pipe and the muffler that we're getting welded tomorrow. So both good things to have while I'm there. I might as well just replace them all since I have them. Then I know they're fresh and everything is good in the hood. But boys, it is just coming together. I mean, are you kidding me? One more thing I want to do, and it's my favorite thing and the thing I've missed most ever since going turbo, is we need to put our hood bra back on this damn hood, and I'm going to do that right now. I love hood bras. If you don't like them, sucks to suck. Hood bras are tough. Ooh, that looks so much better already. I love hood bras. If you don't, bro, on God, like, it's time to grow up. For real. It's time to grow up, bro. I never used to like hood bras when I was a young, dumb kid either. But man, they go so hard. They just make it so much better. Here I am, like, detailing my bay now, wiping everything down. Could work on this thing all damn day, I swear. I don't even know if the hood clears everything I have set up now, but... Oh. Oh. The hood bra is back in action. No shot. Come on, dude. I just love it. I just love it so much. That's so much better. Come on. How could you not like the hood bra? Like, honestly. Come on, dude. You don't like the hood bra? You're lying. On God, you're lying. Regardless though, I gotta put a cap in it for today. Tomorrow we get the muffler welded and I'm gonna install it with the new gaskets when we get home. And then that's Wednesday, it's tomorrow. So Thursday, hopefully we can go out and get a tune on this unit. Absolutely stoked. Absolutely stoked. Well. Final step aside from a tune is complete. Take a look at what I mean. Old exhaust for the turbo setup, hangers, gone, abolished, eliminated, don't exist. Old exhaust, hangers are back in action, baby. Hopefully they are at the right height and stuff. I basically got them to lob them off and weld them up, brother. That is it. Doesn't need to be pretty. It's under the car. As long as they hold, as long as I can get this thing on and drive this thing NA, it's all we care about. So shout out to you. Let's go get this thing on so we can tune it tomorrow. I'm a little nervous though. It poured rain all day and it's supposed to rain tomorrow. And that's not a rain car. I mean, look at it. So we'll see what happens, but let's put this sucker back on the car. Finally, last piece, done. It isn't gonna fit. We need some hammer time out here. Fuck.
Years later.
And just like that, not gonna lie, that took me over an hour and 20. But guess what? Yeah. Oh yeah. She's on. Oh my God. That was a nightmare. I'm gonna crawl under this thing one more time. As we can see, our hanger angles are not necessarily ideal, but one hanger, two hanger, the third hanger. All hangers are on. New exhaust gasket and bolts are in. Let's get this fucking thing off jack stands and take it around the block. I know it isn't tuned, but to be honest with you, at this very moment, I do not give a shit. I'm driving this thing. All right, boys, I hope you can hear okay. I can't do up the window because it fell off the track. But we out here driving. It's at 14.5 AFR under light throttle, which isn't great, but it also isn't like the worst thing ever. It's running and driving good, smooth. I got no complaints. It feels a lot lighter and nimble, more nimble in the front end without the heavy ass turbo kit there. And we'll see how the temps get. We're already at 71. Alrighty guys, so we are on a test trip for the Civic. We've been driving for about 10 minutes or so, and so far we have made it farther than where we made it boosted, which is a good sign, a real good sign. I think I'm gonna pull off right here and just check a few things. Mainly just the oil bung in the front. And we're looking good. So here she is on the street. Holy, absolutely amped. I'm gonna go enjoy the last bit of this drive before tomorrow when we street tune it. So we'll see you guys then. Alrighty guys, well here's where we're at. We just finished a day of tuning and it was probably the worst day of tuning I have ever had remote tuning. We lost connection twice because you got a hotspot from your phone to the laptop. We lost connection in this new city twice. Keep in mind, I've got about 5 e-tunes before in the old city and I never lost connection, not once. We lost connection 2 times and I had to ditch the one and only back road that's close to me, that's kind of safe and out of the way for doing this. It runs good and it rips. Well, it rips. I don't know if it runs good. It sounds and feels healthy, but the AFRs say otherwise. Usually mid-13s in a pull, but there's sometimes and close to the top of the RPM range where it gets rather lean, like 14.2, 14.5 wide open, which is no bueno. Ideally, in a perfect world, we want to be anywhere from like 12.6 to 13.5, maybe 13.8 on the super high end. I ain't no freaking tuner, I don't know. But it looks like it's being caused by low fuel pressure, which to me doesn't make any sense because like it's the same fuel system we used on the boosted setup that didn't have a lean issue at high RPMs. 550cc Bosch EV14 injectors, AM fuel rail, slim AN filter, braided AN line, stock fuel pressure regulator, which is only sitting at 36 at idle. When you disconnect the vacuum line, it does jump up to 45. The injectors are scaled in Honda to their 45 PSI and voltage trimmings. So that is all good. The only other thing I can think of was maybe fuel slosh because it's just under half tank and we're kind of going up and down hills and taking hard corners. But that's more prevalent like a quarter and under, not like a little under half. But it is old fuel. I told the tuner I run this thing exclusively on Shell 91. And the more that I think about it, the last time I filled this thing up, I think it was at a 7-Eleven because it was on the way to the back road I was headed to and I noticed I was almost out. And regardless of what the hell brand fuel it has been in this car for about a year. Like the last time I drove this car, not quite a year, like the last time I drove this car was around September of last year. And that was the last time I really, not drove it, but filled it up. And so that means, you know, the gas is almost 12 months old, which I don't know if it would necessarily give me lean AFRs at wide open, but maybe because the energy efficiency isn't there in the explosions, it's getting enough fuel, but it's just not good gas. So now I'm like thinking, do I just drain the gas and put fresh Shell 91 in it? But like we just moved and I have no idea A, where my jerry cans are, and B, I don't even know if I have any sort of bucket or anything that can hold how much fuel is in this. Like it's got a half a tank, so there's quite a bit volume of fuel. It's not gonna fit all in like an oil drain pan. Not to mention they're oil drain pans, so they need to have oily gas. I don't know what to do. I did a data log and I sent it back to my tuner and he was like, that's weird. When we were tuning, it seemed to be on point. But then like an hour later, I sent him a data log and it's like, yeah, hitting like 14 wide open throttle. So he sent me a revised tune and he told me to plug the tune in, upload it, and go for another drive. But then I told him the gas situation. He firmly is recommending me to drain the tank and add fresh Shell before I drive it anymore. But I just don't really know what to do, to be honest with you. Because like draining the tank's not hard. There's a drain plug on these tanks, but I don't have anything to put it in. So I had to formulate a plan and get back to you guys on that because I don't know what the hell to do right now, to be honest with you. Gas is draining. 25 liters of Shell 91 ready to go in. For now, we wait until the drain is done. I hope it fits in this bucket. If it doesn't, well frig. Gas is now drained, it's official, and it's time to fill up the car. Still got a drain pan under there, still gonna monitor the drain bolt because I don't think it's ever been out. I cleaned it up, I brake cleaned it, got all the grime off it, cleaned the threads, back in, tightened it down nice and tight. Now we fill. My fuel gauge is mechanical and it still says it's at half a tank. Also, 45 liter tank divided by 2, 22.5 liters. That orange pail right there is 15 liters and I didn't even fill it halfway up. So let's be optimistic and call it 10 liters. Could have been fuel slosh. Only 10 liters come out, that means we're at like a quarter tank, not a half. And it still says we're at half even though we have no gas in the car. I don't know. This is gonna be a slow process. Pretty sure we were on some really bad old gas. My fault entirely. how it does here. So far when I give it gas, it dips into the 13s now. Not VTEC or smoking, but like just giving it a little gas. Goes into the 13s. Before it did not do that earlier today, so I don't want to speak too soon, but we'll catch back up once we get a couple pulls under our belt and see what's going on. All right, boys, so I have good news. I didn't film said pulls, but we are sitting at a healthy, very, very low 13 or a very, very high 12 mid pull. I literally can't ask for anything more. Let's do a grab. So confirmed bad gas, and I did do a pull on the old map with the new gas, and it was a lot lower. Like before it would go like quite high 14s and low like 15s, which was terrible. With the new gas on the old tune, it did low 14s. So I just uploaded the new tune and everything is good. So I just had to wave. I just pulled a U-turn in a driveway and I didn't notice the guy's literally sitting on his front lawn, so I had to give him a hard wave because he was hard eyeballing me. Hard. He was staring through my soul. I could feel it. Didn't like it. But yeah. It rips. AFRs are beautiful. That VTEC crack and that NA scream, I missed it so bad. It's official. Boosted Hondas suck. NA Hondas for the win. I don't know, baby. Should I just slap a K series in this thing? Also, when it was boosted, I would have had my fan on like this whole time begging for dear mercy at engine coolant temps. I literally have been driving for 30 minutes and haven't turned my fans on once. We're Gooch. We are Gucci. Like, it's ridiculous. Let's get another little lick here. Third gear that time, and again, solid, very low 13s. Exactly what we want to be seeing out of this. I do have bad news though. My throwout bearing is making a fair bit of noise. I'm gonna run the shit out of it for the rest of the year, and this winter we're gonna have to do a new one because it is noisy. Oh well, see ya. Boys, there we have it. My dumbass thought it would be a great idea to start off a tuning day with bad gas. Well, bad, it's old. So basically what happens with the old gas is it loses octane rating. So when we started the tune, I gave the build list breakdown to my tuner. I told him my fuel injectors, my fuel pump size, my map sensor size, that the AFR is wired into the ECU, all the things that you have to tell your tuner. I also sent him the dead zone timing and trimming sheet for the fuel injectors, and then we started to think it was a mechanical issue, possibly the fuel pressure regulator. So I did a test with that of the vacuum line on, the vacuum line off, and everything is good, obviously, because I then found out and realized, hey, this is probably bad gas or old gas, because the last time I filled this up was almost 12 months ago. So I sent that to the tuner and he literally types back, oh, yeah, you need to drain it and put new gas in it. So I drained it, I put new gas in it, which was a process and a half, but we did it, and the old gas is ready to recycle in our jerry can over there. But after all of that gas drain and fill and yada yada, we went for a rip on the factory tune, not the factory tune, but the tune that he built me earlier today with the old gas that was running lean after in the 14s under wide open throttle. We ran that tune and it was like high 13s, low 14s. So it did come down quite a bit with just the better gas in there, having no old gas and fresh gas, which is awesome. but it still wasn't quite where it should be. You know, B series, wide open throttle. I'm not a tuner, take this with a grain of salt, but you shouldn't be 14 at wide open throttle. You know, you can crack ring lands, you can melt pistons, lean is mean. Ideally, you want to kind of be in the 12s, 12.5 to I'd say 13.2 to maybe 13.5-ish at wide open throttle. And now when we do pulls at wide open throttle, we're like anywhere from 13 or 12.4 to like 13.0, sometimes 13.1, 13.2. So it's perfect. It feels a lot better. It runs cooler because there's more fuel getting in there. Cooling acts as like a heat dissipant as well. So that is absolutely perfect. We got what we needed, and turns out I was just an idiot tuning on old gas that's lost octane rating. Drained it, filled it, uploaded the revised tune, which he just enriched on the VTEC Plus on the high speed fuel map, I guess you would call it. Once again, I'm not a tuner, so if I sound like an idiot, it's because I'm an idiot. But alls I know is that the AFRs are in check, car pulls hard, does not overheat, doesn't do anything weird. Like I said, when I was driving, when it was boosted, I could barely drive it 10-15 minutes like up a hill before it was at like 210 degrees. Now it struggles to get to 190 degrees. It might literally be too efficient. I don't even run the rad fan like ever unless we're stopped at long red lights. Like I literally never turn it on, and it always hovers around like 180, sometimes 190 climbing a hill. So we're freaking dialed, long and short to say the least. Car's dialed, we're dialed, I'm happy. We started tuning today and doing this process at 10:30, 11 this morning, and it is 7 o'clock at night now. This is something that I've done before 5 or 6 times. It's literally taken 2 hours out of a day, and that's how I expected it to go today. Not thinking and using my big brain to say, hey, let's not tune on 9 to 12 month old gas that's lost octane rating and been sitting there stagnant because you never drive the car. My fault, but my fault turned into an entire day of tuning and getting this thing dialed. Regardless, day well spent, because at the end of it, Civics in the garage, under wide open throttle, sitting at perfect AFRs, thing rips. It is so fun, so fast. I love it. I can't believe, and I don't even know why I went boosted. This car is so much better NA. If you know, you know. If you drove this car like it is right now and raged it and drove it turbo, you would also agree with me that this is better. I guarantee it. Even if you're sitting there shaking your head, shaking your fist at me like, how could you say that's better? Like, you literally just lost like 200 horsepower. You got to know what I mean in order to know what I mean. That was ridiculous, but there you have it. Car is tuned, car is running good. It is back to NA. It's staying like that. No, another year is not going to go by and I'm going to put my damn turbo kit on. Not going to happen. Now that I have reignited my spark for this car, we're going to go through and do a whole suspension refresh overhaul, as well as chassis bracing, stiffening. I'm going to fix my window that fell off the rail. We're going to do tint. Like I said, I still got that new part for back here, something back here. I'm not going to tell you guys yet, but we're going to do lots back here, lots with the suspension, tint, lots with the interior, and a couple good knickknacks under the engine bay. Not going to reveal too much because you guys need to subscribe, turn that notification bell on so you never miss when we upload next. Yes, I upload a lot of short forms, but if you want the nitty gritty, you want the full story, the full picture, you got to check out the long forms. Anyways, boys, until next time, comment, like, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.